G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have me daily driver in the shed, and it is not for good reason. My daily is just a FG-F6, as you can see. Pretty much, well, very similar to a Ford Falcon. If you are not from Australia and you don't know about these things. Main differences, it says F6, pretty cool. Baby seats aren't factory, but what else we got in here? Bunch of stuff, because it is actually me daily, so she gets abused, poor thing. A special build number, you get some FPV dash, cluster gauges under there. Apart from those things, you get a cool blue rocker cover. And yeah, it needs a good wash. You get a 3582 turbo from factory. The airbox comes over to this side. Previous bloke, the bloke that I bought it off, did the swap, whatever you'd call it. Moves the intake over here, which makes a lot more sense. I don't know why they didn't do that factory. So this is normally the battery location over here, and that is the airbox location over there. So now we just have a standard, This makes a lot more sense. Go around through the intercooler back up to the front here. Previous owner, I've had to redo quite a lot of his work. It was a little bit disappointing. Seems to be a bit of a trend that I am buying cars like this. She's been a bloody good car though. It's just a few things, to re-weld the front intercooler piping. Any of the black pipes there, I have re-welded. I just wasn't stoked with this oxidization on the aluminium there. Oh no, it's just filth, unreal. Yeah, so any black pipes I've had to re-weld, and yeah, that's pretty much the story. Other things that I have done is it had these fake Argents. So these are a factory style wheel, but in a 20-inch. They're really bad for cracking, known for cracking, so they did crack, leaked air, whatever. I just went to Marketplace, looked up Ford wheels, 5x114 is the pattern, Skyline pattern, so I did get some R35 GDR wheels on here. That's another difference with the F6 Brembos. I think that's pretty much the only differences. So yeah, previous owner installed that little Pleasantman 90. If you're into that sort of stuff, whatever. They do a bolt-on version of that, which is what I was gonna change it to. So gets rid of this silicon here and bolts onto the clamps, and it actually bolts this into position, so this can't pop off like it did on him. He reckons he didn't do these up tight enough, and it has dented the bonnet, which is quite easy to see when the car's clean. Half he had to remake the battery tray and just a few disappointing things. But the reason we have it in the shed today is, one, got some new tyres so we can put the Skyline wheels on the back so they're not mismatched. But I'm fairly sure it's hard with the header tanks. I'm fairly sure I'm using some coolant. My worry is that the heat exchanger on the ZF, so this is a 6-speed auto, they got it in the ZF gearbox. The heat exchangers are known for corroding, I suppose would be the best word, and the automatic transmission fluid, which is cooled by the coolant, mix, and you end up with a milkshake in your gearbox. Now, I haven't experienced funny shifts or anything like that yet, so I don't think, if it has happened, it's only recently super happened. There's a little bit of gunk in the header tank, but that's always been a bit yucky ever since I've owned it, which has been about 50,000 Ks. Poor girl just gets bulk Ks and hard Ks, eh? Well. But yeah, guys, so we will be putting just a transmission cooler on it today. We've got a front main seal to put on, got a balancer, bunch of fittings for that oil cooler, I also have a power steering pump we need to put on. This, oh man, new belt. I've already done a tensioner before. Like, it really does need a birthday. Some window switches. My mate broke a window switch the other day. My mate didn't break it. It just broke. He just happened to be the person pressing it. You know, wasn't his fault, you know. So we did get some new window switches to put in. Neglected stuff. So let's get straight into it. Alright guys, I did just drain the coolant. Man, it's stinking. It's not even that hot, it's humid, it's disgusting. I did just drain the coolant. It is green, which is a good start anyway. Now underneath here, this is what the part in question is. So that's our ZF cat, because when I bought it, it had no cat in it. So put a cat in it because I'm a good boy. So ZF, and this is how the ZF cools. So we have the heat exchanger. Oil comes out of the box into here, coolant goes out of the engine and into here, and this is the part that commonly fails, right? So we're just gonna do away with this and run a air oil cooler an air oil cooler at the front of the engine. So let's get going with that. So guys, I just had these on charge for a second while I just mucked around a bit. So I've just removed this heater hose off of this side, and I removed the one that comes off of here and goes up to that right there. There's that little male nipple sticking out. So we're not just going to delete all those hoses completely. The factory engine oil cooler is just below the oil filter. That's super common. So we will just grab this hose. So that's our engine oil cooler just there. This hose comes off of it. We'll just plumb him back up to that. We'll just plumb him back up to that nipple. We just needed to pull this off briefly to get this little fitting off. So we'll still have the factory engine oil cooler working. So let's go ahead and delete the rest of this potential hazard. As you guys seen, those fittings were like a pull-out fitting with a little lock. So you have the replacement. Speedflow makes some. I think some other people make some. These are Speedflow ones, whatever. Just like a double O-ring fitting with an AN8 in our case. An AN8 on the other end. So that is what will be going back in. Just put a little bit of trans oil on there and pop them in and lock them back in place. They should still be able to swivel, so we should be able to get a nice fitting on there. Hopefully it's not too close to the gearbox. It looks like it'll be a little bit taut. We'll see. So I have just went ahead and cut some pieces of this Dash 8 aluminium line, and this is what we're going to be using to hardline majority of the transmission route. So Dash 8 is a little bit bigger than what's normal. Normally it's Dash 6, but there are Dash 8 fittings on the gearbox, so we'll see what happens, I suppose. You can run into pressure drop issues, but we will see how we go. Just go down to the hydraulic shop and got some of these little, whatever they are, hold the hard lines in place. Just have a steel bottom, cap and a bolt. Pretty simple little thing. Just holds it in there. Now to get that first one, so it's a direct sort of run, the easiest thing to do, I just cut a little bit of box section. Now we'll probably weld this on there, or not probably, we will. And then the rest can sit on top like that, and we'll just weld this to the cross member. So that'll hold that in place at least. And it's pretty much just a direct run if we do that. Next to no bends in the line, so just easier, you know. So you got to think about these sort of things. Another one on the front, and we'll put the fittings. We just got some olive fittings. Normally I'd flare everything and do that. The olives are sort of becoming more popular, and they seem to work fine. So that's probably what we will use. Not even probably. I keep saying probably. It's definitely what we're using. While waiting for the little bracket to cool off over there, and before we buzz him back a little bit more, we may as well pull the battery terminal off of the battery, get it ready for welding, and probably remove the radiator, because by the looks of it, it'll actually be better off trying to weld that one there, the front one, from this angle. We'll get a better bite at it. The back one is just going to be a pest either which way we go about it. Definitely going to be easier from underneath. But that one will be better, and the radiator does have to come out anyway, so probably get to pulling that out. Now the rest of this will be getting filmed with a voiceover, because I actually filmed the whole rest of this video in slow motion and didn't even notice until I plugged it into the computer, and it was way too late by then. So I've sped it up obviously on the screen, and this is the only way to go about it. Now I'm pretty sure what I was saying here was that the radiator itself was way too hard to pull out, because the aircon and that's all attached to it. So we're just going to struggle with the little 75mm 3-jaw to pull off the factory balancer, which actually wasn't that bad. Once you put an aftermarket one on there, it's way worse, but with a factory balancer, it actually has straight cut edges behind it, and the puller actually grabs it quite well. So it wasn't actually too bad. Prying out the front main seal here, smacking it with the screwdriver, trying to not crack the aluminium. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, while we're in there, you may as well do the front main. I can't remember if that was leaking, by the looks of that sump, it definitely was. So yeah, bloody smack the front main out and clean him up, tap a new one back in. Just go around it as best you can, keeping it flush, and get it in there nice and snug. I don't know why this bit's in slow motion. I think I may have left it in here just so I could say, I filmed this in slow motion. But as you can see, that is our hardline transmission path, and that's where the little bracket we welded up earlier is going to get welded onto the K-frame or cross member, whatever you want to call it. And this one's in slow motion as well, but we've welded it, so I should probably re-watch these back so I don't have to do 1 million voiceovers, but we're just doing it as we go. You get little cutters if you buy a tool kit with the AN lines, so you can trim them flush. If you use a grinder, sometimes it deforms the tube. It depends how hard you push, not normally, but I don't know, I like to use the little cutters, it's sort of nice and neat. And that's just a little bender I got from a plumbing shop, or might have even been Bunnings, I don't even know. Because it was just convenient. It fit the, whatever dash 8 is, 3/8 maybe, nah, it wouldn't be right. 1/2 inch. It fit the hard line anyway that we were using, so it was very convenient. And the olives we were talking about earlier, so you slip your rear nut on your olive or your compression fitting, or maybe your olive and then your front, and then when you do them all up, it compresses the olive and makes a nice seal. They actually do work quite well. I was a little bit skeptical for a while, but sort of coming around. And as you can see, we've got our hose looped onto the transmission there. So we're going to run a hose to the hard line just to account for a little bit of vibrational movement over time. It probably really wasn't necessary, but I did it anyway. Oh, slow motion bead roll, hard lines installed, compression fittings on. Oh, they've got a little bit of a bend in them, that's nice. At least they're parallel, and they're shot down the other end, as you can see there. The other end will just be hoses, so same on both ends, hoses up to the transmission cooler. Oh, that slow motion really worked for that bead roll, and now it looks stupid because talking in slow motion. Now, as you can see, we have our oil cooler mounted. It's important to put that behind to the intercooler, but it could probably sit on the front of everything else. We've got it on the aircon condenser there, so I was curious to see how it would affect the aircon working. It actually didn't make any difference whatsoever. It still works sweet. I just mounted it using the Ziploc clips that come with it, and that has worked sweet. Has had no drama still, and it's as simple as the barbs going down to those 2 AN hard lines, so that's that completed. While I was there, I did have to do the power steering pump, so it was a bit noisy, so I put a new power steering pump on. Unfortunately, the one I did get, I ended up getting off a mate, and it has just been sitting in the shed for bloody, probably 2 years before I got it, and the bearing has gone a bit dry, so it's a little bit noisy, but it doesn't wobble and carry on like the old one I had on there. Super easy to install. Bolts out, bolts in. There's holes in the pulley, as you can see, and you can actually access the bolts that are bolted on through those holes in the pulley when you spin the pulley around. Super easy to do. Pressure side, bloody return line straight to the tank, and that's it. Now we just got to change the filter underneath and fill it up while the car is running. So always go through the gears slowly and have the car running normally in park or neutral. The gearbox or the dipstick, if it has one, will normally tell you that anyway. It's important to have the engine running when you do top up your auto, because the auto oil will get sucked into the converter when it's spinning, and yeah, you do want the right amount in there. If you don't have it running, you'll have way too, like, not enough anyway. Young bloke's helping me here. He's always wanting to help do something. You can probably hear them in the background running amok. But yeah, he's always wanting to help, so he's helping me put the bolts in the gearbox. And I think we're nearly ready to take this thing for a spin. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. I had to go buy one of these little pump things because the filler is in an awkward spot. But it's not a really big deal. It's actually come in handy quite a few times since buying it, so, and they're only cheap, so. But yeah, when you go to do it yourself, keep that in mind. I don't even think I have the audio from it starting up because it's all in slow motion, so just gonna have to imagine. Awesome, worked. Going through the gears, as I said before, to try and get the oil around anywhere in the gearbox that it may have to go, and just working that wheel back and forwards because we did change the power steering pump just to help bleed the steering rack out if there's any air in there. Oh, nearly forgot, we did have to put those back wheels on, so we put the back wheels on the car. Mickey Mouse, good comparison between the Stocko, oh, you know, the copies and the 35 wheels. They're quite a bit wider. And I think the next bit I actually filmed on my phone because it was about a week later, so we'll cut to that. Alright guys, we're at this for a drive. Got you guys just on the phone holder there because I don't have like a camera mount or anything like that, so, but it seems all good. Temps are good. Power steering pump's a bit noisy. Might have to get a new power steer pump. Sounds like bloody supercharger. But gear changes are good. Yeah. Yeah, it's driving like it should, you know. Alright guys, got a 1 week update here. Everything's pretty good. I did have a small oil leak coming out of the olive fitting. I purely put that down to me not doing it tight enough. So I nipped it up a fair bit tighter and it has seemed to stop. No issues with the auto. Power steering pump's a bit noisy, I think I said that already. Apart from that, aircon seems the same, maybe. Honestly, maybe a little bit worse, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's all in my head. And it's been stinking hot, so you know it's always going to be working a bit harder on those hot days. But for the most part, yeah, it's been all right. We'll see how it goes through the gears in a second. Yeah, it seems pretty strong, guys. I can't do a whole lot under 60, you know, but yeah. pretty much exactly where they used to be. No real difference there. Oh, I did put a new radiator in actually, that's what I didn't tell you. So I put a new, I think it was just more coincidental that, you know, one of them things I guess. The radiator, one of the tanks actually split, had a small leak only under pressure, so it was like a tiny little leak, but it was enough to, you know, lose coolant. And I actually noticed the temp gauge. I was in drive through the other day and I noticed the temp gauge creep up a little bit higher than it normally does. It never really hits halfway, or it sits just under half. So that was a, you know, just went onto eBay and got a new radiator core, you know. Didn't even think to look in on the shops. I think I was just on the train, and I think I was just on the way to work and I just bought one. So it's got a new radiator. Yeah, so that's pretty much the video, guys. I know it's a bit dark at the moment, but yeah, bloody heat exchanger delete, front main in. What else did we do? I don't even remember now. Power steering pump, that'll get changed again in a week or two when this new one rocks up. And I think later on we will have to do brakes, suspension, and I can't think of anything else at the moment. Apart from a full respray and a new bonnet and a new boot and new interior and a new bloody head unit. Bloody unreal. Anyway, guys, cheers for watching. Hope this helps you. If you have a Falcon and you want to get rid of that heat exchanger, it's very doable. Little bit of time, guys. Just peace of mind at the end of the day. I'm not a big fan of stuff that mixes coolant with anything, hence why I don't have water to air intercoolers on anything. Alright, that's just me. You might like your heat exchanger. A known failure point though, so it's probably not a bad idea to ditch it, or at the very least to replace it. Replace it every now and then as part of a maintenance item, guys, and you should stay out of trouble. But that's enough rambling from me. I'll bloody see you on the next one.